Happy Tuesday, my friends, and welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point, helping right there from the Daily Blitz.blog is Mr. Christian Simpson, and Mr. Fashionably Late is Mr. T.J. Hopkins.
I wouldn't even introduce them.
I don't play like that.
One thing about me, I ain't never late. I'm on. Hey, shit don't start till I get here, so I'm always on time.
But anyways, this is Prime Sports World. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. On today's episode of the show, we're going to be breaking down the AFC and NFC Conference Championship games. And we're going to let you know who's going to be the victorious and who's going to play at Super Bowl 49 or 59. So let's get into it. Gentlemen, how you all doing, man? It's cold here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Let me tell you, baby.
Doing good.
Christian, you're in New York. Is it as cold there as it is here? Because it is like it's so cold here. I know you guys can't relate to this. It's so cold here in Fort Wayne. Like I just left the Y, and between me walking from the Y out the exit to my car, which is probably like 3 minutes or so, maybe less, my hair and my beard completely froze over. Like it was like all icicles and chunks. Like it was horrible. And I know you guys can't relate with that problem, but
this has probably been the coldest winter since I've been back. This is probably the heaviest snow because it snowed here on Sunday. Yeah,
that's the only thing we don't got. Thank God.
Yeah, we don't got any snow. I used to live in Panama City, Florida, and shout out to all my friends over there at WMBB, world's most beautiful beaches. They have snow, like first time they've had snow since 1989. I was 1 year old. TJ was not alive. Christian, you weren't alive. So yeah, it's been wild.
How wasn't TJ alive? He the oldest motherfucker here.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
David is literally 40. Shut up.
No, I'm not 40. No. Whoa. Let's not just throw around the word 40 all willy-nilly. Like it's nothing. But anyways, let's talk some football. Moving on. We're not weathermen. We're talking here to break down conference championship games. Let's start first in the NFC. The upstart Washington Commanders going into Lincoln Financial Field, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Commanders upset the Detroit Lions. They also upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get here. Philadelphia Eagles beat the Rams and help me with the other Green Bay. Thank you. Why don't I? Yeah, I should remember that. I hate Green Bay. To get here to the conference championship game, they both have built similarly. They both want to run the football. They both want to play some play action. They both have a mobile quarterback. This is going to be a good one. This is the rubber match between these two teams. They split the season series. There is a bit of an asterisk on that second game, as TJ was probably going to point out. Jalen Hurts got injured in the first quarter in that game, and Kenny Pickett finished that contest as the Commanders were able to mount that comeback in one of the most thrilling games of the entire season.
Yeah, it's nice. Like this notion of how Philly's winning their games. Like, oh, Jalen Hurts is going to have to throw the ball at some point. No, he's not. Like, no, he's not.
Probably not, no.
Like people have been saying that for the past, month and a half, and they're somehow still winning games with Jalen Hurts throwing for 160 yards a game. But when you got Saquon and the Barkley going for between 180 and 2.25, why am I throwing? It's almost like they want the Eagles to do something dumb. It's like, hey, we have Saquon Barkley back there. He's running at 6 yards a clip. Oh, Jalen Hurts, throw the ball to AJ Brown so everybody can shut up. No, you're winning.
I always feel like teams start those kind of narratives just to get teams off their game, right? Like they're just like, well, if we just like insinuate this narrative, we'll just get them to play not what their normal style of football.
I'm more inclined to believe that teams quit on the teams quit on the coach before they just you know what, they say we doing this, let's do it just to throw them. No, bro, it's so stupid. So y'all aren't happy with the fact that Jalen Hurts is not throwing for 250 or 300 yards a game, but they're winning. Y'all want to pick and prod at AJ Brown reading a book on the sideline because he's not getting the ball, which y'all should be more mad at AJ Brown than anything about that, because that's like, bro, why are you showing the team up? We know who you are. You're not getting the ball right now. Okay, the game plan doesn't call for you to get the ball right now. Why would I interrupt the algorithm if I'm running the ball and it works and it's working? Why would I just out of nowhere just start passing the ball?
Philadelphia Eagles are the number one rated defense in terms of yards allowed per game. They have been excellent. They're the best passing defense in the National Football League. They're in the middle of the pack when it comes to running defense. On the offensive side of the ball, I'll get to you in a second, Christian, because I think I know what's coming here. The Eagles and Commanders are literally next to each other when it comes to total yards per game. The Commanders average 369 yards per game on offense. Philadelphia Eagles, 367 yards per game. So these are, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, this is about an even a matchup as you can have in the National Football League when it comes to an NFC title game. Christian, talk to me.
David.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. These are winding down. 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number one, baby.
We got two.
Look, when these two played the first time, it was on a Thursday night, and the Commanders looked to be pulling an upset. And Saquon Barkley happened. He took over in that fourth quarter and just let them know, look, I may be the best running back in the National Football League, so catch up while you can. Second time they play, Jalen Hurts, no pun intended, gets hurt. And I just think everything changed within the Philadelphia Eagles in that game. They forced 5 turnovers in that game, and they still didn't beat them. But both teams are different now than what they were at that point. You look at the Commanders, they're doing it with balance. They're neutralizing pass rushes by getting rid of the ball quickly. They're doing it with defense. That defense has really come around. They're stopping the run a little bit better, and they're creating turnovers. Philly, you can tell Jalen Hurts is still a little bit rusty, but as long as they have Saquon Barkley, they're going to have a chance every single week. And the Eagles, what'd you say?
I said every single time.
Every single time. And the Eagles, they got away from Saquon when they lost that meeting to the Commanders in December. This is going to be a fun one. The NFC East is on full representation here. I previewed this one on Thursday.
On the Washington side, like this is the best thing and possibly the worst thing for them, because again, you're not expected to be here. You got a rookie quarterback. You got Dan Quinn, who was a cast off. You got Cliff Kingsbury, who was also a cast off. And now, and this is where you are. So, like, the problem, and you can ask Aaron Rodgers about this, like, the problem when you have success at an early age, at an early stage in your career, this is the expectation from now on. So, what happens in the next season if Washington goes and they don't get to the NFC Championship again, or they have a stretch where they don't get back to the conference championship? They have a 5-year drought. We're like, yeah, you make the playoffs, but you ain't getting to that NFC championship. What's going to be said then? It's like the narrative that's going to be changed going forward with Jaden Daniels is one to keep an eye on, because you go from you're going to win Rookie of the Year. That's a given. You're going to win Rookie of the Year. You go to the NFC championship as a rookie. What's going to happen if you come up short? What's going to be said? Like that's something to keep an eye on. But I'm going with the Eagles for this game.
I'm also going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. I just think that they're going to be more balanced. I think Jalen Hurts will make enough explosive plays. And let's be totally honest with you. I know the Washington Commanders story has been nice. It's been, they beat a very good Lions team who were very banged up. This Eagles team is coming in very healthy. I mean, they're only really missing Jacoby Dean on that defensive side of the ball. The Eagles are a better football team from top to bottom when he cooks with their overall rosters. They should win this game fairly.
And when we say like the thing that we said about the Eagles, about the Lions, like, oh, they've been here before. Like, no, they've been here before. The Eagles have really been there before.
Yeah, 100%. Swinging into the AFC, we got the Buffalo Bills trying to get off the schneid when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. These teams have split the last few matchups. The Buffalo Bills always having the number of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the regular season, but cannot outduel them in the postseason. I think it's been 2 of the last 3 years they've gone into Arrowhead, or maybe they've had home field. I think they've gone into Arrowhead on all those matchups and they've lost. So now they're looking at Kansas City. They go back to Arrowhead. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs, they had to dispatch the Houston Texans, and the Buffalo Bills are here as well as they beat. Man, my brain is just not having it right now. They beat the Baltimore Ravens. They beat the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday, and then they also dispatched of the
Denver Broncos.
Thank you, man. I'm getting old, man. I can't remember everything all the time. But yeah, quick numbers. If you're looking at the numbers between these two teams in the playoffs, Buffalo Bills on offense, 372 yards per game. The Kansas City Chiefs actually have the worst offense. I know they've only played one playoff game, but they have the worst offense when it comes to playoff yards per game so far at 212. So how do you think this one shakes out, TJ? Let's just talk about it a little bit before we get into Christian and his shameless plug.
Yeah, these I think like they're, when you say even matchups, these are like they're even, like they're 5-5 against each other. The yards per, like the yards are down to the yards are even, like 251 to 251. It's what you asked for, right? Like, because truth be told, I feel like no matter what the matchup was in the AFC, it's gonna be what people asked for. Whether it was Lamar and Pat, or we got what we got, Josh and Pat. I feel like there was no way anyone was not going to be happy unless you were a fan of the team that lost. Right, so Ravens fans are not happy because they're not in it. It is what it is. Josh Allen just seems on a goddamn mission. Like, bruh, like everything about this screams not this time. Like it just, like everything about it just screams, hey, I'm sick of losing to this mod. Like, especially when it matters. Like, I'm not losing to you this time, bro. I'm not losing. I'm gonna go to Arrowhead. And I'm gonna walk out with my head. I'm going to win this game. I'm not losing this time. I like, hey, the way he playing right now. Like, he ain't turning the ball over. Josh Allen, hey, he get the ball when it's time left to make a play. I have the utmost confidence in him to make that play and go win that game. I'm going Buffalo.
Christian,
I'm gonna need y'all both for this one.
Oh, let's go.
I'm gonna need everybody here. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 2, baby.
When these two played, David, and I remember talking to you after they played the first time when Buffalo beat them in the regular season. What did I say? We're gonna see this matchup again. All these months later, what are we seeing? The Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just going to come right out and say it. This is modern day Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. It has that feel to it. We get this matchup every single year in the regular season, and they always seem to find one another come playoff time. Buffalo lost a heartbreaker to Kansas City last year in Buffalo. This is Patrick Mahomes' first game on the road in the playoffs, and they come away with a victory en route to another Super Bowl championship. Buffalo, I'm going to say this. Buffalo gave Baltimore a taste of their own medicine. They ran the football. They won in the trenches. And TJ, what do I always say? The what don't like to get bullied?
The bully don't like to be bullied.
And they bullied Baltimore. And TJ alluded to it with Josh Allen. He's on a mission. More than likely, he's going to win that MVP. But I just like the way how he simplified the game. He's not forcing the ball. And if he doesn't have it, he's either going to dink it, dump it, or he's going to take it himself. Kansas City, on the other hand, they're closing games out and they're winning with defense. No, it's not pretty. No, it hasn't been the best looking, but
that's
they're coming away with wins.
not not to cut you out, like that's kind of the notion that's literally playoff football. Like that's what this time of the year you're not gonna win a game pretty. Every game is gonna be nasty, gritty,
Ugly.
this
I
ugly.
Buffalo have really had no business winning the game that they beat in Baltimore. I mean, a bounce here or there. We're not talking about Buffalo even in this game.
Like, David, I don't know. I don't know about that because
I mean, potentially they could have gone and got the game-winning field goal even if they got the ball back. But
I personally feel that was the best first half of football that the Buffalo Bills played against Baltimore because they controlled the line of scrimmage and they gave Baltimore a taste of their own medicine. Because you remember the regular season matchup between the Bills and Ravens. They kept running the football at them until Buffalo did something about it. And Buffalo just raised the white flag by the third quarter.
But Baltimore had all the momentum at that point. I'm not discrediting your point, but I think that game, the ball bounces a different way, and Buffalo's not in this game.
No, I agree. But with Kansas City, this is a team that grinds games out. They want to run the ball. Mahomes will still make a pass, and the defense will do the rest. I will say this though. Guess what the weakness is of Kansas City? Their offensive tackles. Guess what the strength is for the Buffalo Bills?
Yep.
Their defensive ends.
Von Miller.
Yeah, their defensive ends. The key for Buffalo is simple. They got to score. They cannot do what the Houston Texans did. When they're in the red area, whenever you're playing this football team, you have to come away with points. Kansas City, they got to keep Josh Allen in the pocket. They cannot allow him to buy time. And I want to see the type of game plan that Steve Spagnuolo is going to throw against Josh Allen. Are they going to rush 4? Are they going to keep a spy in the middle of the field? This is where I think Nick Bolton is going to be key. I preview this one on Friday. Be on the lookout.
We got a couple comments here from the Facebook page. Was it Terranito? I apologize if I'm butchering that last name. He says he can't bet against Mahomes.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin.
Oh, yeah?
That's my cousin.
Oh, shit. What's up? Hey, it's TJ's cousin. Can't bet against Mahomes at home in the playoffs. That home field advantage is real.
Hey, cuz. I love you. Hey, cuz, I love you. I'm right. I got to ride with Josh.
Facts, if he win the coin toss to take possession of the score, I think the Bills win. He's talking about that overtime game against the Ravens. And then sounds like Super Bowl Cam Newton versus Peyton Manning. And then weak tackles and Von Miller at DN when it comes to the Buffalo Bills at Kansas City Chiefs. Shout out to TJ's cousin. Appreciate you checking us out here at Prime Sports World. Anyways, I'm going with Buffalo too. I mean, it might be a homer pick because I just love the Buffalo Bills and I love Josh Allen. But it's more than just that. I mean, on paper, when you look at them, the Buffalo has been better, at least in the playoffs, in every statistical category. Offense, they're better on offense so far in the playoffs than Kansas City has been. 372 yards per game for Buffalo, 212 for the Kansas City Chiefs. On the defensive side of the ball, Buffalo, shockingly, has been better than the Kansas City Chiefs. 320 yards of total offense per game for Buffalo, 336. Obviously, that's just their one game against the Houston Texans. But the fact that Buffalo has been better in the playoffs on both sides of the ball, on offense and defense, and their numbers in the regular season are not that much different. Kansas City on offense was middle of the pack this season. 327 yards of total offense for the Kansas City Chiefs per game. Buffalo, 359. So they're 30 yards better in the regular season through a 17-game series playoff season schedule. And then Buffalo on defense, 341 yards. Kansas City, yes, a little bit better, 320 yards. Kansas City in the top 10 when it comes to defensive efficiency in that game.
So let me ask this.
Josh Allen, I think, as PG like to point out, I think he's on a mission. I think he knows what the narrative is around his career, that no matter what he does, he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. It's up to him to squash that narrative. That same narrative existed with Peyton Manning for a long, long time. Like you can't win the playoffs. You can't get over Tom Brady in the playoffs. We've kind of seen that same times. Yeah.
What'd you say, Christian?
We've seen that
3 times.
Oh yeah.
We've seen that same narrative about Drew Brees for a long time too. I mean, he was in the playoffs every year, but you just couldn't get into the big game, couldn't win a playoff game. I think Josh Allen, I think he gets off the bugaboo. I think he sheds that notion around him and gets that monkey off his back in this game. And Buffalo, so I think Buffalo's a better football team, anyways.
So let me ask you this: like, can we also make the point that no one thought Buffalo would make it this far?
I mean, no. I
don't think people had Buffalo making the playoffs.
Me and Izzy talked to Liz about this a little bit last week when we did the awards show. When we tried to predict who we thought we awards. Buffalo, like in many people's estimation and guesstimations, they were in a rebuild this year. Like this was like you trade away Stephon Diggs, you lose a bunch of pieces off your defense, especially in the back end. You lose a bunch of key Mitch Morris off your offensive line, who's a quality player. People were like, yeah, this is going to be a rebuild year for the Buffalo Bills. They're going to have a down season. And Josh Allen was just like, nah, like as long as I got Josh Allen, like we're not going to be rebuilding.
Yeah,
we're making the playoffs.
Look, I remember saying to someone during the summer, he asked me who I thought would win the AFCs, and I didn't even hesitate. I said Buffalo. He goes, really? He goes, Josh Allen lost his top 2 wide receivers. I'm like, that's what makes him more dangerous because as a defense, you don't know who to zoom in on. Do you try and take away Dawson Knox? Do you limit Dalton Kincaid? Are you going to do your best to eliminate Khalil Shakir? This Buffalo offense reminds me a lot of the Chiefs in 2022 after they got rid of Tyreek Hill. Everyone is getting the football if you're open, and that's been their mentality. Everybody eats, and I think they're better for it now. But David, I've been saying this to you and CJ since I started analyzing for you guys on this show. What have I called for the Bills to do for the longest? Be more what?
Run the football.
Balanced, and they're running the football. If they can let James cook, they're even better.
But we also got to stop this notion. Like ESPN does it, it pisses me off to no degree, and it's a dumbass question. It's like, mind you, Josh Allen's like what, 26,
something like that. Yeah,
Lamar is about the same age. They legit asking questions like, are they ever going to win the Super Bowl? Like they 26 years old. What are you talking about? Why is that the question? Because they lost to the guy with the faster gun. They keep losing to Pat Mahomes, and that prompts you to ask the question: are they ever going to win the Super Bowl? Like, bro, they're 26 years old. They're
not even in their prime yet.
They're not even in their prime. Technically,
I mean, by about to start the prime,
and that's the question. That's what you ask. So if Jaden Daniels loses on Sunday to Jalen Hurts, are you going to ask, is Jaden Daniels ever going to win the Super Bowl at 23 when he's 24 years old? Is that the question that's going to be asked? No.
So Josh Allen is 28, and Lamar Jackson is also 28. And happy belated birthday to Lamar Jackson. His birthday was on the 7th of January. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Happy belated birthday.
The point still stands. You're 28 years old, and are they ever going to win? Like, what makes your mind go to that dark place and go to that dark place?
Yeah. Like, hey, they still got a lot of football ahead of them. I mean, Tom Brady played till he was 45 years old, and I'm not saying either of these guys are going to play for 40 until they're 45 years old, but doing that math, that's probably 12 more years. They have 12 more opportunities to make it to the playoffs and probably host the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Like, let's calm down these narratives for a little bit here, because everybody, especially at mainstream media, like they just get so caught up in like the now. Like they just like they're like, oh, you lost one game in the play. Oh, they're never gonna win it ever again. Like it's never gonna happen. Like let's calm down.
It's infuriating. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand it. So Peyton Manning's first Super Bowl win was what, 2006, 2007 season? Yeah. Peyton Manning was born in 76. So what's that? Do math. Somebody.
Math. 28. Did I just do the math? I think I might have
31. Peyton Manning was 31. 31 when he got his first championship. 31.
Yeah, or
Like,
30.
come on, bro. 30, yeah. He would have turned 31. 30 years old when he got his first championship. Like, come on now. But we're asking, are 28-year-olds ever gonna win their first? Like, knock it off, man. Like,
before we get up out of here, let's talk a little bit about some coaching hires. Just rapid reaction here, Christian. We're not going to get real in depth here. Kevin O'Connell agreed to a multi-year extension this morning or this afternoon. What do you guys think of that?
Love it.
Well deserved.
Love it.
I think he's a top 5 coach in the league.
I probably would agree with that. Also, on the Patriots side of this, they're bringing back Josh McDaniels to be their offensive coordinator, getting the gang back together with Mike Vrabel as the head coach.
And other news, it's cold outside.
I thought Josh McDaniels was gonna be like damaged goods, like after his tenure in Denver.
Truth be told, I think no matter where Mike Vrabel went, Josh McDaniels was coming anyway. I just think that's probably the relationship that even when he was supposed to interview here, when he did interview here, and they and Bear sounds like, hey, if he gets hired, we already know who the offensive coordinator is. It's going to be Josh McDaniels.
I think I probably would have liked to have seen them get somebody else in that, but it is what it is. We'll see. But yeah, that's been our conference championship.
I'm on Twitter. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm on Twitter right now, and it says right here that Aaron Glenn has landed in in New York. He's meeting with Woody Johnson. And Woody Johnson all but said the job is his if he wants it. So Aaron Glenn might be I heard that. Aaron Glenn might be the next head coach of the New York Jets.
We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get through the carousel. But this has been our conference championship preview.
What's wrong with coaching the Jets, Christian? You can't coach the Jets.
You see, you don't live here. You don't see the dumpster fire like I do.
I don't need to. I'm kind of living in my own. Like, don't you?
TJ, you know why I don't want him to get that job. See if he got a job next year if they struggle.
Yeah, I know.
Conference championship preview presented by Prime Sports World. We gave you the AFC and the NFC. This has been presented by Prime Sports World. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. My name's David Huffman. Right there is my co-host, Mr. T.J. Hopkins. And from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. And for the love of God, it's -3 degrees right now in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And what do we do here at Prime Sports World, my friends?
Nah, we need the heat.
-3. It's -3 there. It's -3 here. It's that 22. Hey, that 22 degrees tomorrow gonna feel like.
Man, it's gonna hit different. Let me tell you. I'm wearing my shorts tomorrow.
See, Chris, I'm glad you're here because we know the vibe. We know the vibe.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not.
You are not kidding at all.
No, yes, I am. Well, actually, I wore shorts today because I wore them to the gym. But,
yeah, that's my cue to go.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back here later this week. We are, whatever. Here's, of course, quick message from our sponsor. You guys all have a good night and stay safe out there. Peace out, gentlemen.
See you.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.